Just a quick note, the video is about the Jesus Army cult from England, not the Jesus People Army cult from the United States. Now with that said, let's get into the basic facts about the Jesus Army cult. The Jesus Army cult came to be because of the Baptist and Pentecostal movement of the late 1950s known as the Charismatic movement, which was developed when churchgoers noticed that younger people were turning away from religion. The movement helped churches make religion mainstream, such as bringing in music of the era instead of using old gospel songs. And this is something that Noel Stanton did for the Jesus Fellowship Church in Northamptonshire, England. Stanton served in World War II. Stanton was born in 1926 in Bedfordshire, England, where he was raised on a farm. Later in life, he would serve in the Royal Navy during World War II. He later stated that while he was stationed in Australia, where he met an evangelist named Frank Jenner, that he states caused him to convert to Christianity after asking Stanton where he thought he was going after he died. As soon as Stanton returned to England, he attended the All Nations Bible College. Then in 1957, he became a part-time minister for the Jesus Fellowship Church, where he would develop the Jesus Army cult. Stanton recruited teenagers. Stanton believed in the charismatic movement and wanted to attract teenagers to his church, so he bought double-decker buses and painted most of them in a rainbow motif, then called them battle buses. When recruiters would go out on the street, they called it going on patrol, and the recruiters could easily be seen because of their colorful camouflage jackets. By the 1980s, the Jesus Army would have nearly 1,000 people in its ranks, but the majority were teen males that had either been homeless and/or drug addicts. Most members lived in a commune. Later down the line, Stanton was able to purchase buildings with donations and turn them into communal housing for members, as well as 2 large farms and various stores which members would work at and give any type of a paycheck back to the church. All female members were told that they had to be submissive to all the male members, which consisted of doing all the child rearing and household duties. The outside world was banned to all members, especially television and radio. Members were also not allowed to associate with anyone who wasn't part of the church. Stanton also wouldn't allow members to celebrate Christmas because of its pagan origins. In 1986, the church was expelled from the Mainstream Baptist Union and Evangelical Alliance as a result of claims from local churches that the group had become too isolated and independent. There were different levels of membership. There were 3 different levels of membership or commitment that people could join to be part of the church. The lowest level of membership was for people who attended Stanton's sermons but weren't living at the communes. All that was required was that you continued to attend the sermons. The second tier was for the members who didn't live at the commune but worked at the church-owned businesses. This tier required that you turn over all financial gain as well as attendance to Stanton's sermons. The highest tier, known as the covenant members, lived at the communes and worked at the church-owned businesses. These members were expected to hand over all money and possessions to the church while also taking the covenant vow. Ex-members have stated that the covenant vow was forced on any members who were not married because it was a lifetime vow of celibacy, as well as vowing to devote the rest of your life to the church. Any member who didn't want to take the vow was pressured into marrying another member of the church. Stanton began to build Jesus centers. Stanton began to look for newer and easier ways to recruit members, so he began to build centers known as Jesus Centers. Jesus Centers were supposed to be a place for homeless people, including ex-convicts, to grab free showers, classes for work placement, and free food. But in reality, the Jesus Centers were recruitment centers for people who wouldn't be able to say no to a free place to live, aka the communes, and a job, aka the church-owned businesses. Stanton had an apostolic group. Similar to the Pope, Stanton had a group of senior church leaders that answered to him, as well as reporting any problems within the group. This apostolic group included Ian Collard, John Campbell, Mike Farrant, Mick Haynes, and Hugh Lewis. In 2009, Mike Haynes would take over leadership of the church when Stanton would suddenly die of an illness. In 2013, an investigative journalist in the BBC News Channel released an 800-page report on the Jesus Army that stated that the apostolic group had hidden reports of not only financial and physical abuse, but also sexual abuse. Among the physical abuse, ex-members stated that children as young as 3 were publicly beaten with a rod for misbehavior. One account of the sexual abuse was found to be that the apostolic group was knowingly housing a pedophile at one of the communes. Ex-members state this man sexually assaulted 3 boys over the course of 7 years while working for the church. The church shut down in 2019. To date, 16 male members have been convicted of sexual assault while they served in the Jesus Army. In 2019, the church released a statement saying that in lieu of the abuse accusations and convictions, the church would be closing its doors for good. Even in 2021, there are still ex-members coming forward with allegations of abuse while they served in the Jesus Army. As of right now, police in England have stated that they have evidence that proves the apostolic group was covering up reports of abuse, and that they are pursuing further legal action against them. But now you know the basic facts about the Jesus Army cult. Thanks for watching.